Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Just bring them your project online or with the Angie app, answer a few questions, and Angie will connect you with local pros who match your specific needs. Or book a service instantly at an upfront price. So join the millions of homeowners who use Angie to care for their homes and get your next home service job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com. Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Just bring them your project online or with the Angie app, answer a few questions, and Angie will connect you with local pros who match your specific needs. Or book a service instantly at an upfront price. So join the millions of homeowners who use Angie to care for their homes and get your next home service job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
I looked at the defendant and I asked her if she was okay. She said she was a little shaken. So I went ahead and gave her a hug. I said, let's check out the damages.
Did that really happen? She give you a hug?
No, she did not give me a hug.
Oh, she didn't? Oh, okay.
This is the plaintiff, Jennifer Haskamp. She says she was driving eastbound and the defendant was traveling westbound and made a drastic turn at the last minute and they collided. The defendant refuses to pay her for the damages she caused. She was cited by the cops in the accident and she's here suing for the $2,095.55 worth of damages she incurred. This is the defendant, Michelle Winsett. She says the plaintiff went through a red light and T-boned her as she was entering her complex. The woman hit her with such force it broke her axle and the tire fell off. The cops drove by and wrote up an incident report, but no citations. The woman's now harassing her because the insurance company denied her claim. So here they are. She's accused of turning too early.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn in.
Thank you, Douglas. Jennifer Haskamp?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Michelle Winsett for $2,095.55 in damages that you incurred as a result of, according to you, her negligently crashing into you.
Yes, you're right.
All right. Or causing a car crash. What happened?
We were driving opposite directions on the same roadway.
Okay, why don't you come on over here and pick a car and...
Pick a car, all right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was driving westbound, so this would be my vehicle here.
Okay, so grab one of those two cars that are right there and make one of them you.
I'm right about there.
Okay.
She was here, getting ready to make a left-hand turn into what was oncoming traffic.
Okay, you're the oncoming traffic.
I am the oncoming traffic.
Hold on
one second.
Right to you, listen.
Oh, and you
Yep, we'll do it from there.
Sure. All right. So as I'm coming through here, she goes ahead and makes this left-hand turn. I was about to T-bone her like this, but I mitigated damages by trying to go this way.
Are you an attorney?
No, but I have studied paralegal studies.
Okay.
So I tried to mitigate.
I found very few litigants use the term mitigated damages in the middle of explaining a car crash. Go ahead.
Well,
usually it would be so I swerved, but go ahead.
Damage.
Okay.
But we did strike. The front passenger side of my vehicle hit the rear of her.
Okay, when you say we, who else was in the car?
Oh, we as in the defendant and I.
Oh, okay.
We struck.
Okay. All right, go ahead and go back.
Okay.
All right, so what happens after the shock of the accident? You both get out of your car?
Right.
Okay, and what happens?
I looked at the defendant and I asked her if she was okay. She said she was a little shaken. So I went ahead and gave her a hug. And I said, let's check out the damages.
Did that really happen? She give you a hug?
No, she did not give me a hug.
Oh, she didn't? Oh,
no, she
okay.
did not.
Well, I got this warm, fuzzy feeling, and now it's going to... I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we investigated the damages, and She got on the phone and called her significant other and her sister. I got on the phone and called my significant other, and a friend showed up as well.
Okay. And then did the police come?
The police did come. They took about an hour and a half to do so. In the meantime, her significant other showed up on the scene and expressed an interest in paying for the damages without involving the police or the court systems.
Okay.
My insurance company had suggested I call the police, so that's what I did. I don't carry collision on my vehicle. So whatever conversation.
What kind of vehicle is this?
It's a 1998 Ford Taurus.
Oh, well, I wouldn't carry collision on that either.
Right.
Okay, I mean, that's like as old as my teenage girls. Okay, so go ahead.
I inherited the vehicle from my grandmother.
Right, oh, that's
so
sweet. All right, so now, how did the police get involved? Because my understanding is you folks were trying to, did you actually call the police or they happened by?
I called the police.
Okay, you did. So they come and what did the police do?
They basically took both of our stories and they went ahead and cited Ms. Winsett for failure to yield the right-of-way and failure to carry insurance.
Because she didn't have any insurance.
No, ma'am.
Aside from the police giving her tickets, how were issues between the two of you resolved that day?
Well, since the expression had been made that they were interested in paying in cash or in some other method without involving the courts, that I went ahead and wrote a promissory note.
Let me see the promissory note.
Basically,
you have the original?
Yes, I do.
Who's the gentleman with you?
This is Carlos. This is my significant other, and he was a witness on the scene.
Is Carlos an attorney?
No.
Okay, is this your handwriting?
That is mine.
That is the best handwriting I've ever seen.
Thank you.
This is a promissory note to which I, Michelle Winsett, do agree. This is you writing this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
By my own free will to pay for the repairs to the vehicle belonging to yada yada, the details of the vehicle, the plate which was involved in a collision with mine on such and such a date. The vehicle will be repaired and towed if necessary as soon as is reasonably possible and paid for in full by me. I accept all liability. Signed and agreed, Michelle Winsett, and there purports to be your signature. And then the signature of a witness, Carlos. Okay. What happened? Tell me about the car accident. You want to, actually, I'd like you to come over and you can, okay, so you're the red car. Put the red car back where the turn signal is. Put her back and tell me how the accident happened.
This is where I saw her. I don't know if she was originally in this lane. That's where I saw her. This is a turn signal. I live there. I turn all the time. I was coming home from physical therapy.
A turn signal means an arrow?
Yes, the green arrow.
So then the arrow lights up and it's red for everybody else?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Yes. I was right here. Well, I guess it was right here, because where she hit me was right there. She hit me in the center, because she completely...
If you had the arrow, why did you sign this?
I didn't sign that. That's not my signature. I did not sign that. She gave that to my sister. I talked to the police officer. He said I did not have to sign it, and he said if I did sign it...
Did your sister sign it?
No, my sister... No.
Nobody signed it. They're forging it?
I didn't touch it. I told her I wouldn't touch it. I never touched that
Did
paper.
the police give her the ticket for running? Because what you're saying is she ran a red light.
She did run the red light.
Okay, who got the tickets?
I got a citation because I didn't have insurance.
Did you get a citation for not yielding the right-of-way?
Yeah, I did.
How can you get the citation for not yielding the right-of-way if she is the one who didn't yield the right-of-way? Go ahead and give it. I tend to believe there's no arrow there if the police officer gave you the ticket.
There is an arrow there.
Why would he give you the ticket?
The police officer wasn't called. He was driving by. He was there for about 20 minutes. He came in, he talked to her, he talked to me. I didn't have insurance. He automatically just wrote the citation in. He left.
No, he definitely should automatically write the citation for insurance.
Right.
But if he wasn't there, he doesn't know who didn't have the right-of-way, because there's either an arrow there or there's not an arrow there. Do you have any evidence about whether there's an arrow there?
I sure do.
You do?
Yes, I do.
I thought you might.
The license to show the signature.
Oh, and I don't know if you'd like to see a copy of the signature on her driver's license, but it does match that of the promissory note.
That driver's license was signed, I don't know how long ago, and I don't know if that matches whatever she has on that paper because I've never seen it.
That's what she presented on site.
But you were...
But I did not sign that paper. I swear to God, I did not sign that paper.
I don't know if it matches it. I can't tell.
I refused to sign it to her, which is why she gave it to my sister.
Okay, let me see the police report.
Sure, it's right here.
I want to know why the officer... All right, give me a second to look through this. Vehicle 1 was stopped at the intersection. Vehicle 2 was traveling eastbound. Vehicle 1 initiated a left turn, violating Vehicle 2's right-of-way. The right front collected, both of them moved out of the grass. What was she saying on the scene?
pretty much. She didn't believe it was her fault. I knew it was. I wasn't going to argue with her over that at that point in time.
Oh, this stuff about her hugging you, according to you, that never happened?
No, she didn't hug me.
Okay. Was it hostile between you two out there?
No, it wasn't. I was
When your
upset.
significant
We were
other
both
came
upset.
out, was he attempting to negotiate it?
No, he was talking about my car. That was my ex-boyfriend, which is my daughter's father, who I called because I didn't know what to do because she said she didn't want police, she didn't want anybody, and I agreed with that because I didn't have insurance. My car...
Well, so why wouldn't she want police?
Well, I guess you can ask her that because she
Okay,
didn't
why
seem to
wouldn't
be
you
very
want police?
sober when she...
Watch this. Why didn't you want police?
That's not true. I had called the police.
Right, so I'm
But she
asking
didn't
you,
call the
why didn't
police.
she want police?
She looked very much either she was drunk or she was on something else.
Why didn't they give her a citation?
I have no idea.
The police just have it in for you?
I don't even know. And the speed
If she didn't
that
think it was
hit
her
my
fault,
car-
why would she sign this? And by the way, I have to tell you, I don't think the signatures look that much alike.
Thank you.
Who crossed out the address and then put a different address?
The defendant did.
What was the address on your... Okay, your license has Missouri.
Correct.
Okay, where did this happen? In
On
Florida.
Clubview Drive.
How long had you been living in Florida?
I have been at that address for almost a year.
If your license didn't have your Florida address, and your Florida address is handwritten here in a handwriting different than the paralegals' block handwriting, who knew your address and wrote this down here, if not you?
What address does that say? Honestly, I've never seen that. I don't know.
It says 1300 Avenue, Orlando, Florida.
At the time of that accident, I lived at 2956.
Who is at 1300?
I don't know. I live at 1900.
You're not listening to my question.
I don't know who lives at that address. I don't know. It's not me.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So the question, if a cop cites one person in an accident, does that person automatically lose in court?
I would think so because they would go and take the cop's side no matter what usually.
Oh, so they would always take the cop's side. What do you say?
I'd agree.
Really?
Yeah, I think they would.
Would they always take the cop's side?
I would think so.
Why? Why do you think the judge is always going to side with the cops?
I'm not sure.
Because they're supposed to uphold the law and not supposed to lie.
Then the question is, what's the law going inside the courtroom?
Did you serve process on her at 1300 Avenue?
No, ma'am. The reason why I was unable to is because that is a dirt lot.
I've never
What
given
was
her
the
that address.
original address? Somebody had an original address and then that got crossed out and then...
No, 2956 Drive is the address of the complex that I lived in when she hit me.
And then that got crossed out by someone with a different handwriting than her and a dirt road address got written in?
I live at
There's more.
1900 Avenue. Currently,
Why
I've
would
been there for
she
1
write
year.
in the address of a dirt road?
I don't know. That's not my address.
No, the only person with a motive to cross out the address and write in the address of a dirt road would be the person who doesn't want to get pinned with the accident, who doesn't want the police there, who is driving without insurance, and who is driving without a valid Florida license. I find your credibility to be extremely suspect. The amount you're asking for is more than the value of your car. Sentimental value because grandma gave it to you doesn't count. I'm referring to Kelly Blue Book.
Is there any way to look at the damage of her car too? Because the only damage to her car was the right front light.
Oh, no.
She busted. She
Stop
broke my
talking.
axle.
Stop talking. Because the damage that I saw was severe enough where it's at least the value of the car. So I'm totaling it out.
She totaled my car as well when she hit it.
Good.
She ran the light.
I'm glad that there was some deficit to you for an accident that you caused. So if you think I'm going to sit here and nickel and dime her, when you've committed perjury in my courtroom no fewer than 3 times,
didn't live
you
at
are,
that
get out of my
address.
courtroom. Get out, get out, get out,
I
get out,
didn't-
get out, get out, get out, get out, just get out, get out, get out.
I didn't even
No,
live
no,
at
no,
that
no, no, no,
address
no,
at the time of
no,
the
no, 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 no. Go.
I don't want you to leave your bag there.
The Kelly Blue Book value of this vehicle in good condition is $1,186, not the $2,000 something you're asking for. So you're capped at the Kelly Blue Book value, okay? No matter how angry I am that someone's committing perjury in my courtroom. So I find in your favor in the amount of $1,186.
Great,
That's my
thank you,
verdict.
Judge.
Okay, so out here in the hallway, what went down there. You didn't even get to
No, I didn't.
last the whole case. You couldn't make it to the end.
I didn't even live at that address at the time of the accident. She got that address. I've only been at that address for less than a month.
Well, pleading your case out
So I
here in the
wouldn't even
hallway
have
doesn't
known.
help you.
Well, I wouldn't even have known that address at the time of the accident because I didn't live there yet. I hadn't moved into that residence
someone knew
yet.
it.
That's because she sent somebody to my work and got my new address.
So what are you saying? What's your point?
She ran the red light, and I mean, I
All
can't
right.
really. I have no way to prove
Well,
it.
the judge found you had some credibility issues, and so that's why you lost.
I know, but that's not my signature. That's not my paper.
Okay. That's your stuff, right?
Yes.
All right, pick that up and go that way. All right, so come on out here and what's your feeling on this outcome here?
I am very pleased.
You're going to go give her a hug now?
I would. I'm a very forgiving person.
Yeah, that's nice. Harvey?
So I got to tell you, it's really relevant here. Judges are not bound by what police officers do at the scene. First of all, usually the officer doesn't even see the accident, but even if the officer did, the judge can consider what the cop said. It's relevant, but it doesn't determine guilt. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Whether it's routine maintenance, an emergency repair, or a dream project, Angie lets you compare quotes from multiple local pros, browse homeowner reviews, and even book a service instantly. Angie's been connecting people with skilled pros for nearly 30 years. So the next time you have a home project, bring it to Angie to get your job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
This is Amy Poehler. My new movie, Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, is coming to theaters June 14th, and it's making me feel joy and sadness and anger, definitely some disgust, and I think a little fear. Really? But I'm also feeling these new emotions like anxiety, embarrassment, envy, and ennui.
It's what you call the boredom.
Okay, that one was weird. It's gonna be the feel everything movie of the summer. Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, only in theaters June 14th. Get tickets now.
This is the plaintiff, Raisa Arias. She says the defendant, her daughter, who has lived with her for 5 years, owes her back rent, and she's here to get it. Her daughter's disrespectful, had her arrested on trumped-up charges, and as hard as it is to drag your own daughter to court, she wants her money. She's suing for $1,200, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Jessica Alicia. She says her dear mother has been arrested twice for hitting her. She's gone to court to evict her and her own grandkids, and this lawsuit's nothing more than her being jealous. That's right, her mother is actually jealous she's studying to become a lawyer and is more successful than she will ever be. Oh, her rent. She's all paid up, thank you very much. She's accused of maligning a mom.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff is suing her daughter for back rent. She also says that her daughter had her arrested on phony drug charges. But the defendant says her mom's been arrested for violence against her. It's the case of my mother's a mother.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Raisa Arias, you are suing your daughter, Jessica Alicia, for $1,200 that you say she owes you in past rent when she and her 2 children lived with you, correct? What happened? Why was your daughter living with you?
Why? Because she don't have a place to live.
How long did she live with you?
All her life.
She's never moved out?
For 6 months.
How old are you?
27.
And she had 2 kids living there too?
Yes.
How old are your children?
10 and 5.
How long did you live with her?
On and off for, 27 years, yeah.
Okay. So were you charging her rent?
Yes.
How much rent were you charging her?
$1,200 every 2 weeks.
So how much rent were you charging her? $400 a month?
Yes.
And was she paying it?
PA pay for her rent.
Public assistance?
Yes. They sent me the check.
They would send you her checks.
Yes.
Because that was part of rent, so it wasn't that you would pay the rent, but that public assistance would pay.
Yes, the public assistance.
All right. So then those checks stop coming from public assistance.
Yes.
And you never ask your daughter why. And then what happens?
Then one day I was looking in her room, I don't know what, and I found those checks.
What checks did you find?
2 checks for each, 600 each.
And who were they written to?
Me?
They were written to you?
Yes.
They were in your name?
Yes.
As rent? And then what happens?
I went to the bank and deposit the check, and then they sent me the check back because she already cashed the checks.
How did you cash them? If it's her signature?
I didn't cash them. I deposit them in my account.
How do you deposit them in your account when they're written in her name?
She told me to.
No, you're not getting me. Did you forge your signature on the back?
No.
Okay, who signed the back of the check?
I didn't have to sign that. I just took the picture
Yeah, but you don't get to deposit a check written to another human in your bank account. Otherwise, we could all go around stealing checks and depositing them without a worry. That's not how it works.
I took a picture of the check, and that's it.
Did you forge her signature on the back of the check?
Yes.
She had to have. Where are the checks?
I have.
So your mom told you to go ahead and keep her rent money. Why would your mom do that?
Because they closed my case, and for a period of time, I wasn't getting anything. I wasn't getting any food stamps.
Yeah, but you're getting those 2 checks, and those 2 checks are for rent, and they're for her.
Right, and she told me that I could keep them because I didn't have any money to buy my daughter's clothes and stuff like that. So she told me to keep them, just those 2, and then the rest that was coming, to give them to her, not to take them. And I said, okay, I won't touch them, and that's it.
And when were there any more checks coming?
Yeah, every month, every 2 weeks.
Okay, so those 2 checks you're talking about happened when?
November. And
do you have the checks?
No.
Do you have your bank account statement? Did you go to the bank? Do you have your bank records? Do you have anything?
I didn't bring anything.
Okay. Are you still living there?
No.
When did you move out?
A week ago.
Where are you?
In my own apartment.
Who's paying for it?
Me and my fiance.
Are the children with you?
Yeah. No. Well, the little one, the big one is still in her house because there's still school, and school is about to finish.
So she's still
there till school finish.
How has these last months been with your mother? Because you haven't paid her rent since when?
No, she gets the checks. She's been getting them since November. They closed my case during the summertime last year because they said I didn't go to the center. They sent me a letter home, but I never got that letter.
What's the center?
The welfare center.
Okay.
So I never got that letter, so I didn't go. So they closed my case.
Okay.
So when I went, they told me they closed it because of that. And I told her that
then they
closed
reopened
my case.
it?
And then they reopened it in November.
And then they started paying rent?
Correct.
Okay, is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. What happened between you and your mother that she would turn around and sue you now like this? She tried to evict you at one point too. If you were getting rent, why did she try to evict you?
She always wants to evict me or does do bad things to me. I don't know why.
Well, you have to know why.
I don't know why. I'm not a bad daughter. I graduated. Today is actually my graduation for college. And I'm here.
Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just reset the case? I would have reset it in a heartbeat.
I mean, it's fine. I just want to get it over with.
Yeah, but that's a silly decision on your part that's on you. It's not on me, and it's not on her, and it's not on anybody else.
No, I'm not trying to put it on anyone. What I'm saying is that I have a lot of good things going in my life.
What are you graduating from?
From Monroe College.
For
Criminal Justice Associates.
Your AA, your 2-year degree. Okay. So the 2 checks that she's talking about are back from when? Do you know?
From June all the way to November 2014.
So if your mom, I want you to work with me here 1 second. If your mom is so generous and so kind that she said to you, you just spend that money, it's fine, okay? What makes her now not say that? What happened in your lives and your relationship that would cause her to turn like this?
I don't know. You would have to ask her that.
Here's the problem. Unless you have a reason, then you're just a liar. That's the problem.
So if your daughter cashed your checks, forged them and cashed them, would you sue her?
Yeah, I think I would try to talk to her first, but if she wouldn't give me the money back, then yeah.
Fair enough. Would you sue your daughter?
I don't think I would unless I really needed the money back.
So only if you needed the money. Okay, what do you say?
Well, if I brought my daughter up correctly, I don't think she'd forge my signature.
No, but you didn't, and she's forged a check.
Most probably, yeah.
Okay, we are going inside the courtroom.
I have a question for you. In your complaint, you said you were cleaning her room. Right now in court, you said, I don't know what I was doing in her room. But when you found those checks, that was when?
In April.
Of this year?
Yes.
Ah, that's what happened.
In November.
So April, you find the checks. April, you start arguing with her. April, you tell her you want that money. And then she says to you what? What does she say to you?
She told me that I give the check to her. I give the money.
She did tell you that. And what did you say to her?
You give me to her.
That doesn't sound like me. What did you say to her?
No, how come I'm going to give you that money? No, I was really broke at that time, November. I don't have any present to give to my daughter in Christmas.
You're talking about another daughter?
Yeah, the 14 year. I don't give that money to her.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, she does not strike me as the kind of lady who would hand you $1,200. In fact, I think that the reason why you're no longer living there is because she is not the kind of lady who would hand you $1,200. I think she's the kind of lady who would be cleaning your room or snooping in there or whatever, find the checks and say, what the heck, I can't believe that my daughter would do this to me. I know that you two have had problems in the past. Tell me about the problems in the past. You got her arrested once?
Not me. I didn't call the cops on her.
What happened?
The neighbor, her best friend, actually called the cops on her.
What had happened?
Oh, man. Well, her best friend, the next door neighbor, I wanted to go to the supermarket. My mother didn't want to take me. She had a car. I don't have a car. So I asked her, could you please take me to the supermarket? She said no. Her best friend offered to take me. I said, okay, cool, let's go. She got mad at that. That's what started the whole thing.
And then what happened?
We started fighting. She started hitting, throwing stuff at me. She's very, I don't know right now, but at that time she was very violent in front of my daughters. I mean, I don't think that's appropriate or right. So, I mean, that's what started the whole thing.
So who called the police?
Her best friend.
And then and did she get arrested?
Yes.
Okay, but she got arrested. She went to jail. Mm-hmm. How long did she spend in jail?
A day.
Okay, and then she comes back?
And then she came back.
And did you two make up?
No, we just didn't talk.
Does she have a good relationship with your children?
I don't know, she never wants to watch them. I'm trying to go to school and work and stuff, and she's always so mean to them and to me.
I think you're gonna have to do this on your own.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. So I don't think that the woman you just described doesn't hand you $1,200. I find that you owe the money for rent. I think that, frankly, it looks to me like you forged the checks and deposited them into your own account, which you don't have the authority to do. And if you're really somebody who wants to be a lawyer, you're going to have a problem with this in the future. I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of the $1,200. That was her money, not yours.
Thank you.
Some way to spend graduation day. Yep. Come on into the hallway here. Stand next to her, okay, right there. What's your reaction to the outcome of this case here? And how does this feel being in court with your mom on the other side?
I guess it's fair, right? I don't know.
Is this how you want to live?
No, of course not. I want to do better in my life. I want to better myself.
What about your relationship with your mom? Is that the relationship you want?
No.
What do you dream it should be like?
A normal mother and daughter relationship.
What's the problem?
What's the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem? Yeah.
I'm so happy now that she moved. Happy? That's it. The only that I had to say.
That's your daughter. Explain to everybody watching how you can feel.
My daughter, but she do so many bad things.
So that's it. Relationship is over and you can't fix it?
Maybe. Later.
Harvey?
Just FYI, if this daughter is applying for law school, there's a requirement for getting into the bar. So you can't be guilty of moral turpitude, which is basically immoral acts. And if she's forging documents, she's dancing right on that line. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case of the way into the courtroom right now.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
This is the plaintiff, D. Palmer Shipman. He says he moved out of an apartment he rented, and the defendant still hasn't returned to security, and it's been almost 3 years. He isn't going to just go away without a fight because he's owed and is suing for every hard-earned penny of the $1,543.12 he's due. This is the defendant, Sarah Jane Belcotti. She says the plaintiff left a lot of furniture and garbage behind in the apartment after he moved out. There were also damages to the cabinets and back rent owed, and that's where the plaintiff's security went to cover those costs. She's accused of lackadaisical landlording. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $789.18 for additional repairs.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says his landlord hasn't returned to security since he moved out more than 3 years ago. But the defendant says the plaintiff left a mess behind. It's the case of who says better late than never.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, DePalmer Shipman, you are suing Treon Real Estate Management, represented here by Ms. Belcotti. You're the controller?
Yes.
And you have authority to represent by the owners?
Yes, I do.
Okay, for $1,543.12, $200 for stress, and $1,300 and the rest of that for a security deposit that you feel you are owed. You have a counterclaim against him for almost $800 in damages that you say were unpaid even with the security deposit. All right, tell me what's going on.
Yes, Judge. I was in compliance with everything with the leasing manager. I was to comply.
How long had you lived there?
I lived there for 12 years.
12 years?
Yes.
Okay. And you were on Section 8?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so the government was helping to pay a portion of your rent.
Yes.
How much was the rent?
The rent was $1,300.
All right. And then you were moving from there, why?
I was moving, Judge, because I had found a better apartment, and I had only a limited time to obtain that apartment, so it was kind of like a rush type thing. So
Right.
what happened was I was told by my Section 8 administrative that I must give them a 30-day notice. If not, then I had to write them a letter to find out if they would let me out of the lease 2 weeks in advance. I did that, and they agreed.
Okay. Do you have that? Did they agree in writing?
They did.
Okay. And is there a dispute about that or no?
No, we did get a letter.
And you did agree to let him out of the lease a few weeks early?
A month early.
A month early?
Yes.
So they were going to let you out of your lease a month early, the whole month of February?
Yes.
All right. All right, so everything's working out fine so far. When do things go wrong and why?
I was told that as long as I complied and had the keys back to them on January 30th.
Everything will be fine?
Everything would be fine.
Okay. Did you move out by the 30th?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you return the keys on the 30th?
Yes, I did. At that time, there was a snowstorm. I went to the...
On what day was there a snowstorm?
There was a snowstorm took place January 27th all the way through, basically through the 1st of February.
Okay. But you were able to move it in a moving van?
I had a U-Haul, Judge.
A U-Haul. So you were able to pack the U-Haul, drive the U-Haul, unpack in your new place. Did you return the keys on the 30th?
I tried to the.
No, but the super's not where you return the keys.
Okay, well, I tried to go up Saturday. I went to the leasing office. It was closed. The conditions, like I said, Judge, I have a weather report. The conditions.
Show me your weather report.
Okay.
Because if the conditions are good enough for you to move all your furniture into a U-Haul, drive somewhere, take all your furniture out, the conditions are good enough to deliver keys. You can't have it both ways. That's not making sense. And so when did you return the keys?
On February
3rd?
2nd.
February 2nd or February 3rd?
February 3rd, I'm sorry.
February 3rd, you returned the keys?
Yes.
All right. Now, you get the keys, and what's the problem?
Okay, we received the keys on February 3rd. He tried to return the keys to the super on February 2nd.
Did he try to return the keys to the super on January 30th or on February 2nd?
February 2nd. and then we already had started February.
Right. See, he's describing, I got to figure out if you just didn't get your act together, took all weekend to move out, and finally got around to it on Monday, and then you got to pay rent for February, or whether, there's some innocent explanation.
So who gives the runaround to who more, landlords or tenants? What do you say?
Landlords.
Why do you say?
Because every time something needs to be fixed, they can't be found.
This is all landlords?
Well, basically, mostly for the most part.
By the way, like the shirt. You're welcome. Going inside the courtroom.
What happens on the 3rd when you get the keys? What happens?
Well, he returned the keys, and then we have to process everything at our office. Once we get the keys, the super goes in and inspects the apartment, and that's why I have the super here with me.
You're the super. Come on up. When did he try to return keys to you?
It was on the 2nd.
He never tried to return keys to you on the 30th?
No.
The 30th was a Friday, right?
Correct.
Be awful nice to have the weekend to move. All right. So he returns the key. He tries to return the keys to you on the 2nd. You say no. He returns them actually on the 3rd. And when you go in, how is it conditioned? Because I would hope that this is about more than just the key.
Yeah. We have the pictures of evidence of all the stuff that was left in the apartment.
What
was the problem?
He'll tell you the problem.
All the cabinets were broken.
This is the text message and all the pictures.
Thank you.
If you use a magnifying
There's a date
glass,
on the
you
top
can
of it,
see the date.
And that's the 2nd.
Top of what? I see somebody. Oh, yeah. There it is. Wow.
That's
he's
when I sent it to
texting
him.
her on 2/2, not on January 30th. And he's saying that 340/2C wants to give me the keys. He's telling her that on 2/20. Okay. All right. So tell me what the problem was. Looks like it could use a cleaning.
Yeah, the carpet was, everything was destroyed.
Left an AC unit that's not yours?
That's his.
He left. These are all the things he left in the apartment.
Do you have any pictures of the way you left it?
I do not, Judge.
Is this clothes in the closet?
Yes.
Yes.
Clothes and an armoire? Go over the destruction that you say is there and what it's costing you.
The main thing was the cabinet in the bathroom that was destroyed, and just throwing everything out. I had to pay sanitation.
Is this the cabinet in the bathroom? The hinge? Oh, this one?
Yeah, that's it.
That's how you saw it, with the hinge off?
Yeah.
Okay, and could that be repaired or no?
Yes, I could repair it.
Okay. All right, so you had to pay somebody to move this stuff?
Well, I took it out, and then I had to pay sanitation to take it.
Okay.
Because I couldn't leave it outside.
Okay, so you are the guy who moves that stuff.
Yeah.
And then, all right, so why are you keeping a security deposit?
For the damages.
Okay, because according to you, the $789.18, which would be covered by the security deposit, well, it wouldn't if you count the rent.
Right, exactly.
The $789.18, tell me about the $789.18 damages.
So he also had a parking spot, which he supposedly gave up in June. He has 3 months of the parking, which was $100 a month, which I have the ledger here.
Let me see the ledger. What about your parking?
Well, Judge, I had a zero balance. Why would they allow me to leave if I owed them any money? That's why I was able to move.
But besides telling me over and over, did two, can you just prove to me that you paid it?
Judge, like I said, I was moving. I misplaced a lot of documents. I don't have that. But I do have the request of a walkthrough that I asked for when I returned the key. This is what was told to me.
The $789 that you're suing for, $300 of it is that, and what's the rest of it?
The rest of it is $350 for moving and cleaning of all the garbage.
Yeah, why did you leave all that stuff behind? Because now that means somebody else has to take care of your junk. You didn't leave it.
I didn't leave a thing behind. I have witnesses testifying.
I'm going to show you the pictures of the stuff that was left behind. And you tell me if this is not yours. You have a responsibility to leave the place empty and broom swept.
And that's the way I left it.
Okay. Now tell me what that stuff is.
Okay, let me see. Judge, this must be a total different apartment. I didn't leave none of this stuff in there.
Is that your apartment or isn't it in the pictures?
This isn't my apartment.
Okay. When you moved, did you take your telephone and take pictures of how you had left the place empty?
No, I didn't, Judge.
It's a really good idea for everybody to do that when they leave. Let me just ask you a question. These are the same people who were nice enough to let you move out a month early. Why would they stage all this? Because that's what you're saying. It's not your AC. It's not your clothes. It's not your. This isn't yours either.
That was in the apartment. That right there was in the apartment when I moved in.
All right. So what did it cost to move that stuff?
That was $350 plus $140 to pay New Rochelle Sanitation.
Why $350? I mean, that's like what, an hour's work?
By himself.
It was more like
he did
2 or 3
it by himself.
days.
Well, you work very slowly. All right. Who are the people who are with you? Moral support or
No,
witnesses?
these are witnesses.
Okay.
The first witness is Terry Shipman.
Hi, so hello. You are his
wife.
Okay, so you were living there with him?
I was there with him, yes.
Okay. What day were you trying to give the keys?
It was on the 30th.
Can you prove that in any way?
We have the U-Haul. It has a date on when we
Let's
returned
see the
to
U-Haul. Let me see the U-Haul
receipt from the
receipt.
U-Haul.
Does that say it was returned on the 30th? Says it was rented on the 29th and then returned 1:31 at 9:46. Please accept this letter as an acknowledgement that Mr. Shipman is up to date and that we will honor his request to vacate on 1:30. Keys must be returned by 5 p.m. Gosh, why don't you just, how hard is it to do the one thing they asked to give you that month? Is all you had to do is return the keys by 5 p.m.
The conditions were terrible, Judge.
You know, if you hadn't left so much stuff there too. So here's what we have, folks. By the way, they didn't pay rent to you for February.
Correct.
Section 8, because
No.
he told them, I'm not there in February.
Correct.
So you got no rent in February.
Nothing.
All right, here's where we are, folks. All right, as to your claim for the security deposit and $200 for stressing you out.
Well, I was supposed to go away, too, you know. They told me 45 days, and, you know, after 45, they didn't even tell me that they were going to keep the security deposit.
Okay. Based on what I have heard as to the plaintiff's lawsuit against the defendants for return of the security deposit and stress, I am ruling in favor of the defendants. And as to your counterclaim against him based on the stuff that was left behind and the lateness of the return of the key, I am going to rule in your favor in the amount of $539.18. That's my verdict.
The plaintiff's probably not going to be happy about that verdict. Come on over here. What's your reaction to the outcome here?
I thought it was very unfair, you know, especially me that I was out on time. I complied with everything. And, you know, that stuff that they said was mine wasn't mine. You know, like I said.
Why don't you take pictures of your own when you move in and when you move out?
I thought everything was going smooth. We were in agreement with the leasing manager, and everything was going right. So, you know.
Smooth until
they, I guess, put all that stuff in there and said I damaged the apartment.
If you had pictures, it would have shown otherwise.
Listen, I mean, like I said, I thought everything was working out well between me and the manager, you know, the leasing manager.
All right.
You know, it is what it is. What can I say?
Documents are waiting for you this way, okay? There you go. All right, step on in here. What's your feeling on this outcome here? Turn around.
Stay here. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
It's going the other way. I'm sorry. I'm very happy. You know, I mean, if he gave us back the keys on the 30th, we wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have even countersued. I would have just written off the little bit of money. But when he, you know, went through all this, it was like, okay, now you're going to pay for everything.
All right, to the street, Harvey.
Hey, if you're a tenant, clear the place out before you leave. It's going to be cheaper than if the landlord has to do it.